Hello and welcome to the Extremis Publishing Podcast. I'm Tom Christie. You join me today on one of the warmest days of the year, and where better to be than on one of the best, and I would say best as it's my alma mater, but certainly one of the most scenic of university campuses at Stirling University. And I'm delighted to be here with a brand new friend of the podcast, Lynn Harris, who is the President and Chief Executive of Forth Valley Chamber of Commerce. It's a really remarkable organisation that covers the whole of Stirlingshire, Falkirk and Clackmannanshire here in the centre of Scotland's Forth Valley. So we're very much looking forward to having a discussion with her today about the organisation and the amazing work that it does throughout the area. So Lynn, welcome to the podcast.
Many thanks, Tom. Delighted to be here today on, as you say, the hottest day of the year, and it's absolutely beautiful, yes.
So, could you tell us a little bit about what the Chamber of Commerce does and why it's such a valuable organisation here in the Forth Valley area?
Yeah, sure, of course. For those that don't know then, the Chamber of Commerce is a business support organisation which represents and supports companies across Scotland through a network of local chambers of commerce. We are one of around 28 chambers across the Scotland area, from the Orkneys right down to the borders, Aberdeen, Glasgow, Edinburgh. We have chambers everywhere. We represent, as you said, Tom, the Forth Valley area, which takes in Clackmannanshire, Stirling and Falkirk council areas. The Chamber is certainly about supporting businesses through offering advice, networking opportunities, training, international trade support, and business services to members as well. It's very important, I think, to help our local members know what the business community has to offer. So I really do like that about the Chamber, that we try our best to bring our Chamber members together to build up trust between themselves and to see how they can help each other as businesses flourish. The Chamber is also about much more than that as well at a Scottish Chamber level. Scottish Chambers is all about influencing government policy. They really act as the collective business voice, so that they can go to Scottish and UK government to talk about issues that are affecting businesses such as taxation, infrastructure, skills, energy and economic growth. I mean, the sort of benefits are endless, I would say, in terms of being part of a chamber. But one of the big things that the Chamber also does, which I think is very important for Scotland, is that we help to promote trade and exports across the world as well through our international trade mission programme as well. And we've been very fortunate over the last few years to have run in-market trade missions and also virtual trade missions. When COVID hit, we all had to pivot and do things slightly differently, and we ran some virtual missions. So the Chamber is all about helping all our businesses across Scotland flourish and to be the best that they can possibly be.
Well, I mean, that's a really huge remit and a really fascinating one, and I know that we're going to be discussing different aspects of it later in this conversation, but how was it, Lynn, that you came to be involved in the work of the Chamber of Commerce? How does it fit into your own professional story?
Back in, I think it was 2013-14, Forth Valley Chamber of Commerce was run from the Innovation Park. They had their office here, and as many of you will know, my day job is heading up the Innovation Park at the University of Stirling. So for a few years, the Chamber of Commerce was one of my tenants, and during that time, the then Chief Exec and President asked me if I would sit on the board and be a non-exec board member. So I did that for 3 years. I served my time, enjoyed that. My 3 years was coming to an end, and I was about to give that up when the then Chief Executive and President left. So the board asked me if I would stay on and do a bit of a deeper dive into the Chamber itself, just look at membership, look at the proposition, try and see how we can gain a few more members, and just really help try and put it on the map within the Forth Valley area. So I said I was more than happy to do that. I said I would do it for a few months and see what we could do. So I did that. I felt there was something really quite special there and unique, and I felt that within the Forth Valley area we definitely needed to ensure that the Forth Valley Chamber stayed here. And I said then I would stay on for a year and try and get it back on its feet, increase the membership, get the proposition nailed, and then I would go after that. That was obviously back in 2017, and I'm still here. So I really do enjoy being the President and Chief Exec of the Forth Valley Chamber of Commerce. I absolutely just love to see the members coming through, the businesses, the types of businesses, all the activities and innovation that they are involved in. And I love to see the support within the Chamber network locally for each other. The Chamber also very much, I suppose, marries in nicely to what I do at the Innovation Park about helping to develop businesses, to helping economic growth within the local area. So wearing the two hats, I think, definitely complement each other, and I feel there's a real synergy there between what I do at the Innovation Park and what I do at the Chamber.
So what sort of impact do chambers of commerce have across Scotland? Because I understand it's not just a benefit to business, but of course to communities as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's massive benefits to businesses in terms of the networking opportunities and getting to meet all the different businesses and learning from each other as well. So I think that is absolutely key. I think within the community as well, many of the chambers get involved with their local community, with a lot of charity work. A lot of us are also involved with organisations like the DYW, which is developing the young workforce, of which I'm the chair of the Forth Valley area. So that's about marrying up business and education and helping school children understand that, there are many different paths to get into the workplace. And our involvement is letting the businesses know that they can go into schools and help influence what school children might want to do with their career, and that university is not always the only path for them. So a lot of the chambers are very strong within that. A lot of the chambers are also strong within helping the military, especially ex-military, either get back on their feet or get back into the workplace. And many of the chambers hold the Military Covenant Award, a bronze, silver or gold. We're very fortunate that we hold the gold award, which is all about helping educate businesses about how they can help get ex-military either back on their feet or back into the workplace in a variety of ways. So that is very strong, I would say, across the chamber network.
So how many different companies and organisations are members of the Forth Valley Chamber of Commerce? Because they seem to represent a really huge variety of different industries and interests.
Yeah, absolutely, Tom. We're very fortunate. We have around 340 members. We're by no means the biggest chamber. You look at Edinburgh, Glasgow, Aberdeen, they're absolutely huge. But we're by no means the smallest either. 340 members, I think for us it's a really good number. For me, I like to get to know my members. I like to be able to walk into an event and know who my members are. I feel I want to keep that personalisation there. I probably don't want this chamber to grow so big that I don't know who my members are. I think it's really important for me that I get to know my members, and that helps me then connect people. When I'm out speaking to different businesses, if somebody says they've got an issue or they've got a product or a service, I like to then immediately think, I could link them with that company or that member. So for me, it's really important that I do get to know the members. We have lots of different types of members, lots of different sectors, sizes. We've got, for example, some very large businesses such as the University of Stirling. We've got Forth Valley College. All the councils are members. We've got manufacturing companies. We've got a lot of lawyers, accountants. We've got a lot of very creative organisations as well, from one-person graphic designers who are working from their office at home. It's a real widespread. We've got hotels, pubs, restaurants, you name it. It's a very diverse range. I think that's why the Chamber network works so well, is because it's a diverse range of businesses. Everybody is welcome, and we're all there to very much learn from each other.
And that's one of the best things, isn't it? Is meeting people from the local area who are involved in totally different types of businesses and still discovering all these different forms of commonality and the enthusiasm that people have for their work and for the local community. That's the important thing, isn't it?
Totally agree, Tom. And one of the lovely stories about Forth Valley Chamber is, as you know, we run a lot of networking events and a lot of business events. And there was a group of individuals who realised over time from coming to our events that their skills complemented each other. So as they got to know each other and build up trust, etc., they then decided to get together and start to look at how could we become a collective? How could we go out and start to bid for work collectively? So the project was called Project Kaleidoscope, and they actually did that. They went out, they bid for work, and they were successful. So this is a group of individuals that came together via their membership, came to events, and they have now got a collective running, and they didn't know each other before they started their chamber membership. So I feel that's a really good news story for the chamber, that's what can happen when you come together, and a collective was then born from that.
And I bet there are so many different positive tales of these, exactly those types of collaborative efforts that you could mention. So what sort of events do you have coming up for the members, and how can local companies get involved in them?
Well, we have lots of events. Just, in fact, over the last financial year, we've actually ran about 50 different events. A lot of our events are around networking, but that for me is allowing people to get out their offices and to come and meet each other. So we run 3 networking events a month minimum, but coupled with that, we also run a series of lunch and learns at the Innovation Park, which is all about just very short lunchtime events where we're asking our chamber members to share a bit of knowledge and expertise with their fellow members, and that can be in anything from cyber security to neurodiversity within the workplace, to matters leading to financial issues. You are your brand events as well. So we run lots of different events. We also run expert dinners and lunches as well, where we'll bring in an expert speaker to talk to a kind of more intimate group of people who are very interested in that sector or that subject area, and really get the conversation going. So lots of different events, and obviously we also run our charity golf day as well. I've got to give that a little plug too. Our charity golf day, our 4th one coming up on the 11th of September this year at Tullyallen Golf Club. So we try and raise as much money as we can for charity, and we also try and run some social events, especially at Christmas throughout the year as well. So lots going on, Tom.
And if you haven't been to Tullyallen Golf Club, it's an absolutely amazing place, absolutely beautiful course out there in Clackmannanshire. So I would certainly, if you have any interest in golf at all, it's the place to be.
Well, that's our first time at Tullyallen, so I'm thinking it does look very, very nice. I'm not a golfer myself, but looking at the pictures on the website, it does look like a stunning course. So I think all of our players this year will really enjoy it. Pray for a day like today.
So, of course, it goes without saying there's a lot of unrest in current affairs at the moment and a lot of big developments happening. So what do you think the future holds for Forth Valley Chamber of Commerce? I mean, while the current economic situation has proven to be very challenging for many people, it's also offering new opportunities as well, I think, for business and for communities.
Yeah, I think as a chamber network, we have a strong future, because I don't think we could do without our chamber network. I think for all the reasons that I've said earlier, we are there to support organisations, whether that be through the good times and the bad times. So we are definitely there to support our members. There are huge challenges currently, local challenges in terms of business rates, etc. We hear that time and time again about the business rates that are going up and up and up, and it is crucifying a lot of the members, etc. And the increase in national insurance as well. So I think businesses feel just now there's a lot being thrust upon them, and it's making trading conditions extremely difficult for them. But that's where, again, I mentioned earlier, having the chamber behind you, we are the business voice. We can go to government and lobby on our members' behalfs to try and make trading conditions better. But I think our trading conditions as they are, I think they're going to be difficult for a long time to come. I don't think there's a magic wand out there that's going to change things dramatically or quickly. But I think there are opportunities in terms of the conversation we had earlier. AI is playing a massive part just now. Whether we think that's for the better or whether we think it's for worse, I think there are opportunities there. So yeah, I think it's going to be difficult for a little bit longer, but I think there are opportunities. But again, I think you've got to go and try and find these opportunities. You've got to make the future yours. So you have to go out there and find them. Be part of networks like ours. Get out there, network, find out how other people are doing things and try and learn from that. And I think that may help.
Yeah, I mean, when you mention AI, for instance, I mean, that has absolutely, taken the creative industries by storm, because whether you love it or whether you hate it, there's no getting away from the fact it's here to stay. And so many people in the creative industries right across the whole gamut are now questioning what kind of shape that should take, how involved they should be, what are the best ways to implement it. I mean, do you think that's the case for other businesses as well?
Oh, absolutely. I think people are frightened of it, but I think that's possibly because maybe they don't know enough about it. So it's about education, isn't it? Anything new that comes along, whether it be AI, whatever, I said, you've got to try and educate yourself. And there's a lot of, businesses out there that can obviously do that. But I think we have to educate. And if you want to stay ahead of the game, AI is not going to go away. AI is here. I think it's just what shape or form it's going to take and how it's going to affect your business. But I think we've all got to try and embrace it as much as we can, not shy away from it. And if you're not understanding it properly, ask the question. Again, that's why a network of businesses is so important, because we don't have all the answers. One business doesn't have all the answers. I think you have to get out there and ask the questions. And organisations like ours are running different events, awareness events, education events, etc., to try and help respond to that need, Tom, in terms of we don't know enough about it. So we need to educate ourselves, and we need the experts to come in and tell us a little bit more about it.
So if someone is out there and they would love to know more about the Chamber of Commerce, its forthcoming events, its work in the local community, how can they learn about what's happening? Do you have social media connections and websites and things?
Yes, we do, Tom. We are all over social media, Instagram and LinkedIn. We do love a LinkedIn and Instagram post. Maybe some would say we like it too much because we're never off Instagram and LinkedIn. But I think it's just good to spread the word about what we are doing. And you can also go to our website as well, forthvalleychamber.co.uk, and you can look at all the benefits on there of joining the Chamber, and you can also look at our events, and you can register for any of our events that are happening over the next few months.
Well, Lynn, thank you so much for having joined us today. It's been a pleasure to speak with you about the work of Forth Valley Chamber of Commerce, which of course is an organisation that Extremis Publishing is very proud to be a member of. Absolutely, Tom, and we're delighted that you are both a Chamber member, so thank you very much for that. And we have an event coming up with you in June, Lights, Camera, Stirling. So I am looking forward to that Lunch and Learn, and that is taking place on Yes, that's coming up on Wednesday the 10th, and I must say I'm really looking forward to it.
We are too. My whole team at the Innovation Park are looking forward to coming along. And I have the book. I'm very fortunate that I was gifted a book, Tom, from yourself and Julie, so thank you for that. And I am really looking forward to the session on that day. It's on our doorstep, so it'll be really interesting to find out a little bit more about some of these films and TVs that took place around the Stirling area.
Well, I can promise a few very unexpected stories, because there was a lot of information that I had no clue about until I started writing the book, all set here in Stirling in the wider Stirlingshire region. So I'll certainly look forward to speaking to the members about that soon.
Great. Looking forward to it, Tom. Thank you.
So thank you everyone for having joined us today. I do hope that you will find out more about the Forth Valley Chamber of Commerce for yourself. And as always, thanks for joining us, and I hope that you'll tune in again soon.